Next one on the list, I kind of blew my wad earlier on this one, but would you rather have Matt Castle or Jay Cutler going forward for the rest of the season? Robbie's turn to go first.
I like Matt Castle. He's got he's got surrounding cast around him. He's got a great core of wide receivers. He's got 2 great tight ends in Kansas City so far. An offensive line that let him down last season is proved to be worthy this season. Also, let's not forget, they have Dexter McCluster, who's like their all everything back. Running back, wide receiver out of the backfield. If Thomas Jones, Jamal Charles, then Dwayne Bowe has just really stepped up. So I'd rather have Matt Castle on my team.
All right, Doug, your turn. Matt Castle, Jay Cutler. 2 guys you love to hate.
I think Castle does have a good, young, improving team with some weapons, but I would probably go with Cutler, a little bit more proven, and he's starting to come into his own in that Chicago Bears offense and starting to get things done. I think he's going to turn in a pretty good season.
All right, Doug, kiss the camera there a little bit, man. We're losing a little bit of your audio there as you lean back to pump up Jay Cutler there. Let's move on to, Doug, it's your turn to go first on this one. We'll move on to wide receiver position. We have Jeremy Maclin or Greg Jennings?
Well, that's an easy pick for me. I think although Maclin has been doing awesome, Greg Jennings, again, I like the more proven player, and I like the fact that Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He has been for the last couple years, and Maclin is just right now seems to be the only guy that can catch the ball consistently in Philadelphia. And Kevin, the quarterback situation with Kevin Cobb, I know he had a good game last week, but I'm not sold on him. And Vic is going to come back. You know, it's kind of a shaky quarterback situation.
I like Jeremy Maclin. I'm going to go against you on this one, Doug. You're talking about proven. Jeremy Maclin's done everything his rookie season and more, especially this season. Jeremy Maclin catches the ball down the field as a deep threat. Same with Greg Jennings, but Maclin is pretty much like their only wide receiver hope for the Philadelphia Eagles down the stretch.
Okay, guys, I'm going to start with I want you guys to burn through this one really quick because I really want to get to it, but we're running out of time here. Deion Branch or Roy Williams of Dallas?
I'd say Roy Williams of Dallas, just because Deion Branch had one game, his first game back with the Patriots in 3 years. I really don't see Deion Branch kind of improving on these statistics. I know he caught 7 balls and a touchdown, but I don't like Deion Branch just because he's new to the offense. Roy Williams has really been there, and now he needs to step up because they're going to take away from Miles Austin. I think Roy Williams is going to be there to pick up the pieces for this offense in Dallas.
All right, Doug, your turn.
Well, I got to appreciate what Branch did last week, and he has been with the Patriots before. I'd like to point out, but I'm going to have to agree. He's not really that great a receiver. He never has been, and I'm going to have to agree with Robbie on this one. Finally, Roy Williams, really in a really good position there because of the team that he's cut out to be, and the fact that he's a big red zone threat always to catch a touchdown pass.
All right, this last one's really quick. It's really easy. I just want to know who you guys think. Out of Manning, Phillip Rivers, or Kyle Orton, which one of those guys is going to end up with the most passing yards this season, and will they break Dan Marino's record?
Phillip Rivers, just because he's got no running game.
Okay. Is he going to break Marino's record?
No.
Okay, Doug, your take.
Manning, if you're talking about Peyton.
We're talking about Peyton Manning. Is he going to break Dan Marino's record this year for passing yards?
No, he's not, but he's going to have the better season of those 3.
I'm going with Phillip Rivers, and I think that he and Peyton Manning both break Dan Marino's record this year. Okay, you guys, we got to move over to the weather right now. So we have a new weather girl waiting in the studio for us, Valerie Taberski. Leslie's one of our basketball experts' sisters in town from Ball State. So Val, go and take away the weather.
Hello there, boys. Welcome to the Fantasy Sports Review Weather Center. I'm Valerie reporting the NFL Week 7 weather and this weekend's top games. The Redskins are off to Chicago to battle the Bears in games that feature 2 teams whose records may be better than the players. One of those teams will improve on that this weekend. Let's hope it's the Redskins. The Redskins like to struggle on the road, so you have to figure that the Bears have a chance. But the Bears O-line and Jay Cutler have the propensity to keep any team in the ballgame. Good Chicago weather this weekend as temps will rise to a high of 66 with a 50-50 shot of some rain showers this weekend. There is not a doubt that this is the weather that Phil would have preferred for his Chicago Marathon 2 weeks ago than the 85-degree inferno that Mother Nature delivered then. Another attractive game we have is the Pittsburgh Steelers heading down to the south to face the Miami Dolphins. I keep telling you all, it is tough for cold weather teams like the Steelers to travel to the south to the warm conditions and play because hard and bad things happen to good teams in the warmth. And we have a scorcher on our hands here in Miami. The teams will be up in the mid-80s and only a late season summer squall could cool things off for the Steelers. Slight edge to the Miami Dolphins, even though the Steelers really are the way better team on paper. And let's face it, Pittsburgh did win a Super Bowl in Tampa on a very cool night in February, so there. On Sunday night football, we have a classic game between Minnesota and Green Bay at Lambeau Field on the frozen tundra. Good stuff these days. These are always great games. The Vikings have a small dose of momentum, and the Packers are dealing with a slew of injuries of their own. Should be a good one. Temps will be nice and cool, and there's a 33% chance that some rains will turn the frozen tundra into a solid, frigid swampland. Monday Night Football features an epic battle on the NFC East teams as the Giants travel to Dallas with a chance to flush the Dallas Cowboys season completely down the toilet, which I know Phil and Robbie would love to see. These Cowboys are a crying bunch of prima donnas, and it's time to send the Cowboys packing early this season. It should be a nice night for football as temps will be in the 70s under partly cloudy skies. Now it's time to take a minute to thank Kevin Greavy and Greavy's Sports Bar and a restaurant here in Fairfax. Greavy's is home to one of the best sports bars in all of North Virginia and should play host to your sports viewing needs. Greavy's is conveniently located at the corner of Gallows Road and Route 50 in Fairfax. For many, many years, Greavy's has been a tremendous supporter of our show, and we appreciate their loyalty. That will do it for this weather and this week's key NFL games. Thank you for joining me here in the Fantasy Sports Review Weather Center. I'm Valerie Tyberski reporting. Now back to you, Phil and Robbie in the studio.
Hey, thanks, Val, for the weather. Hey, it's great to have you in the studio today. Thank you very much for coming down and doing the weather. As always, the Tyberskis are very professional in the way they deliver their presentations on the air. Very well done. Val, we will see you soon. Okay, guys, we got a couple key matchups. A lot of the schedule in the NFL this weekend is really good. Doug, we talked about your Miami Dolphins quite a bit on this show in your absence, so your presence is definitely felt there. What we have coming up is a big game between Pittsburgh and Ben Roethlisberger against Miami Dolphins this weekend. Your boys got a chance down there in South Florida, Doug.
Well, this is actually one of the marquee matchups of the week. Obviously, the Dolphins are a team that needs to be taken seriously, and Pittsburgh is obviously on a mission to get back to the Super Bowl again. My feeling is that Miami is going to come out ready to play as they have every week except against the Patriots, where there was a lot of special teams debacles, and that special teams coordinator got fired. But we got, this is the Bill Parcells team and Tony Soprano. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to be fired up for Pittsburgh. It's a tough team. It's one of the better teams that's on their schedule this year of all the tough teams like the Jets and the Patriots. I mean, the Dolphins have a really tough schedule, but they're going to be fired up at home, and I think they're going to come out swinging.
I think a matchup that I look forward to is that New England at San Diego matchup. A lot of people writing off the Patriots offense saying, this team used to be a high-octane offense. Now they've really slowed it down a little bit because Moss isn't there. Well, I'll tell you what. I think Tom Brady rolls into San Diego, grabs a W. Their wide receivers, they get a community effort from everybody on that squad, and they take it to San Diego in San Diego. I know Philip Rivers might have a big day against that untested secondary of the New England Patriots, very young secondary, but I think Tom Brady prevails in this matchup of high-scoring teams.
It's a hard thing to do, go across the country and beat a team like San Diego. I know New England has struggled with it their last couple times doing that. And also, let's face it, though, San Diego's just a team that's beat up right now. I mean, who knows what Gates is going to do? I think Gates will probably be okay this week. Malcolm Floyd is out, and VJack is still out for a couple more weeks. And then that sets us up for a Monday night battle between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are pretty much in a must-win situation at this point. I mean, let's make no beef about it. I mean, they've won one game. New York Giants coming to town. I mean, Dallas last season, remember around Thanksgiving time, they had their backs up against the wall to make the playoffs, and they beat a team that was undefeated at the time. I think they were undefeated at the time, the New Orleans Saints, a team that nobody thought they were going to beat in that game. You know, their backs were against the wall. They played the Saints, who was supposedly unbeatable, and they came away with the W. So if this is the game where they can set it straight, then they will. But hey, you guys, we got to break real quick to Doug. Doug has got some Breeders' Cup preview. He's got about a minute to break down the Breeders' Cup. Hey, Doug, why don't you just take a minute or so, and tell us who some of the top Breeders' Cup horses are this year?
Well, the field hasn't really narrowed down beyond the 20 or so listed. If you have that graphic. Mine That Bird was at 101 early, and Lucas has taken him out of there and put him in the dirt mile, which is a lot better distance for him. But right now, the favorite is Zenyatta, the filly. She's going to try to beat all the guys on this one. I don't think that's going to happen. Again. Looking at Lucky looks really strong. Blame is really strong, and this other horse, Haynesfield, which is probably lesser known than some of those, is actually a really good horse. Opened up at 60-1. I missed that opportunity. Down to 11-1 at last call, coming off a Jockey Club Gold Cup win. Obviously, you can see my late pace and early pace numbers there if you can even read the chart. The other prominent contender, I think, is Gio Ponte. And I hope they just keep this horse on turf, though. I don't think it has any business running on dirt.
No.
Something bad could go wrong. It could happen, and I just want it to stay on turf. Otherwise, it is actually the top late runner and would be a very powerful presence in this race. A Little Warm should run in the mile as well, in my opinion, and a couple other contenders. Richard's Kid has been taken out of consideration. I think that was a contender. But I think Zenyatta gets beat by the boys in this race.
You got a good Euro special on your list there that people can bet on, because we know the Euros do good in the Breeders' Cup.
Well, I like Haynesfield a lot as far as the value that you're getting here. Haynesfield and Fly Down have a good opportunity to make some noise here.
Yeah,
but we're going to have as you know, Phil, we're going to have a Breeders' Cup special in a couple weeks.
We will. That'll probably be around our 200th episode. So, hey, Doug, thanks for joining us again on the show tonight. We had a lot of exciting football stuff to talk about. We had played that fun game, Either Or. That's always a good one. I know Robbie enjoyed doing that. We'd love to have you back again, and we will definitely have you back for the Breeders' Cup show here in a couple weeks. That's going to be a great show. We're working on bringing some quality guests in for that show, and we might teach Robbie a little thing about horses here. One of these days they'll pay attention. But hey, Doug, good to see you again.
All right, good to see you all.
All right, Robbie, thanks. Great show, and we will see you guys next time on Fantasy Sports Review. Bye-bye, everybody.